What's up, YouTube? Robert the Monster Among Marks Drapp here. Now, you may be wondering what the title of this stream means, and I will very simply lay it out. I love me some WWE, and it's been quite a while since my good friend and tag team partner, the heavy metal hippie Sierra, has been available to do a live stream with me as she works late nights. She works graveyard shifts, and I just work late nights. So it's very, very hard to ask somebody to put their sleep schedule on the line like that. That just wouldn't be fair. So to make it a little bit more even, to make it just a bit more fair, I've decided that today I want to go on ahead and put together a bit of a thought piece video in that I want to talk about how I would fix WWE. Now, this very first installment is going to be about how I would fix the current low ratings and the poor booking decisions. Now, when I say poor in quotation marks, we're going to start there. A lot of people have the idea that WWE doesn't know what they're doing. They haven't known for a very long time, and there are cases to be made where such is the point. Where such is true. And I will agree with you. Yes, there have been some very odd booking decisions, and there may be some coming in the future. So I will start from the point of what we know about the current roster. I will try and make up things that could be plausible and would be entertaining to watch. And above all else, something I've learned from the likes of Sidewalk Slam and Ups and Downs on YouTube, I want to try and be as positive as I possibly can, because there's a lot of people who just dump on the product and don't really care, but I want to try and fix something that I love. And I do say that. I am a child of the Attitude Era. I came up in the 90s watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Evan Bourne, Randy Orton, Batista, The Undertaker. You know, the great names that have come into our lives in wrestling. Now, let's start with the poor booking decisions. And the booking decisions I'm talking about here currently means I have quite a big problem with the fact that there's a lot of talent on the roster that isn't utilized, isn't used as properly as they could be, or used as much as they could be. So here's my first idea. Start booking in waves. Yes, it is going to admittedly be hard to justify asking people to go to house shows, to go to Raw and SmackDown airings when they can see the same thing week in and week out. But the added little spice of who's going to show up, we don't know. Maybe this week we'll have this person. And the other thing it will do is in certain weeks, it will allow wrestlers to rest, which is a big reason why we have so many injuries. If you give these guys just that little bit of time, like the week before, say we tape Raw today, next week these guys don't have to be on there. And the people that are not on can start storylines, do video promos, start getting ideas out there, and then maybe next week they have a match. And we build on the basis of something that AEW is rumored to be doing when they start their shows, actually have wins and losses count. Now, that will help eliminate 50-50 booking to an extent, but wrestlers trading wins back and forth doesn't necessarily hurt a program all that much, but it can help when implemented properly, and it can help a rivalry and feud continue. Now, yours truly would start by saying that main event guys, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, these guys need time. So, yeah, maybe not every week having them on Raw, maybe have them do a promo and then they don't wrestle that week. Because if you notice what they did in the Attitude Era, everybody had a gimmick, everybody got a shot. Not all those chances were fair, but they did get their time. And in my opinion, something they could do is start featuring the mid card guys and lower tier as main event for the mid card and filler for the rest of the show. So you would have guys like bringing out Kurt Hawkins for matches in the middle of the show. We did that for quite a long time, and his streak of losing was actually something interesting when and where they chose to apply it. Now, having John Cena do the US Open Challenge was famously good for the belt itself. It showed that John Cena was not afraid to defend the title. He would accept all comers, and when he did, he put on classic matches. So what we need to do is have your mid-card champion on every alternate show, either defending or having a match against somebody who could be a legitimate contender. Now, I love Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio now exists in a pocket dimension where his legacy is cemented. He doesn't need to do anything else. A U.S. title win would do nothing for him, so he should be helping to mentor the younger generation of talent on how to make it and how to get higher on the card. And personally, I'm surprised that Vince hasn't put him with the Lucha House Party yet, considering they've already got Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado, who are phenomenal luchadors in their own right and should be featured. And hell, I would pay money out of my pocket right now to go and see, say, Gran Metalik versus Ricochet, or Lince Dorado versus Andrade Cien Almas. These guys having matches, putting things together, just going out there to show off what they can do. That's something I feel would be instrumental in helping people come back to the product. The second thing they need to do very, very quickly is realize that certain things are not okay anymore. You can't always have a joke skit in every show. Certain people should just be allowed to go out there, grab a microphone, tell the crowd who they are, why they're here, maybe have a 5-minute match, and then showcase their talents to the world. If you really want to know why certain former WWE or former NXT alumni really worked in NXT or really work outside the WWE, but do not once they step up to the main roster, here's your point. Those guys have to build a name, and they have to build a brand before they can even get in the door. If they want you to go out and see them at whatever show they're doing, they have to market their gimmick to you, the audience. You don't get to really do that on the main roster. You get opening segments that are talk shows, which shouldn't even be a thing anymore, except very sporadically. There should be wrestling to start the show. And if you really want to put this in, you can fix the low ratings by letting guys just go out there. I mean, the one thing about the Attitude Era that was always hailed was the great promos. From Austin 316 to It Doesn't Matter what your name is. These moments came about because wrestlers took their destiny in their own hands, grabbed a microphone, went out there and cut promos that were based with bullet points rather than full scripted promos. Like, they didn't wait for an interruption. They saw a gap in a conversation and inserted themselves such that when the cat comes in here, my cat is just a weirdo. But when they saw an opening, they took a chance, and the crowd responded in kind. Now, the third thing that WWE needs to do to fix their low ratings is something ridiculous. Now, when I say ridiculous, there are certain things that are funny or interesting and just should not ever work, but do. Like the Woken gimmick, the current run for Bray Wyatt. His current angle is, I want to see more of this. It is absolutely intriguing, absolutely interesting, and for the most part, I can't wait to see what he comes up with. That being said, it's all up to WWE to let these guys go out and be ridiculous sometimes and not make fun of them. That's another thing. These guys will go out, pour their heart into a promo that is based on a character that's not traditional, and then you'll have Michael Cole or Corey Graves or somebody else on commentary start talking about, wow, he's spooky, or whoa, that was weird. No, don't call it out. Don't call attention to it. Just let it be a thing. If they're intimidating, go, whoa, I am now afraid of this person, because that's scary. And that's a genuine reaction of a person who saw a thing that wasn't necessarily traditional. My cat is a goober and fell off of my desk. A+ catting. But the other half of the other half of my supposition here, the big thing that I think that we can do is book an angle that is realistic. And I'm not just talking for one wrestler. I'm talking for the whole roster. Starting from the current point we're at right now, we have a brand split that's not really a brand split. And you better not fucking lay on my keyboard, cat. She was trying to lay down in front of my keyboard, and she's a rather big cat. But the problem is the entire roster, the brand split, doesn't make any sense. So what we have to do is actually turn it around, turn it on its head, and dissolve most of the brand split. Oh. I was going to vape there. But the problem with the brand split is that it doesn't really exist anymore. With the wild card rule, it doesn't really work, and they don't really keep track. So, how do you fix this? You dissolve the brand split between SmackDown and Raw in the following fashion. This coming Sunday, we have AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. That match should go on last as the main event, and it should be a killer match because Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are phenomenal workers. They have great talent and should be allowed to showcase that in the ring. Now, towards the end of the match, if you don't stop rolling over, cat, stop it. She's attacking me. If you let these guys go, if you let them have 20 minutes, 25 minutes to put on a classic, and I mean, AJ Styles could wrestle a cardboard cutout and drag it to at least a 3-star match. I think that what you do is you let these guys go. Towards the end of the match, these guys are both in it, and then suddenly somebody in a hoodie and a gas mask runs down the ramp and starts distracting the referee. You can't see him. Gloved hands, full mask, hood up, just black hoodie, black gloves, black boots, nothing. You can't see anything. He runs down and starts distracting the referee, like waving his hands, getting the ref's attention. The ref comes over to admonish him, and suddenly from the crowd, 2 men emerge and perform a magic killer on Seth Rollins. As they hit this maneuver, the ramp masked man just backs up, hands up, like, okay, no, fine, I'm going, I'm back. And AJ rolls Seth over 1, 2, 3. This would be the beginning of the club fully taking form. But here's the twist. Yes, they helped AJ Styles get over. But afterwards, they still destroy him. They still jump up in there and it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, thank you guys. And then they destroy him. Beat the holy hell out of him. Next night on Raw, anybody on the roster is a suspect. But you get these weeks between now and between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam where random superstars are getting attacked. And I'm talking full on beat down, either in a match, outside a match, in the locker room. You never see it coming, and it's never the same three body types at the same time. There's only one there's only one criteria, it seems to be. NXT stars, people that were big in NXT that haven't seen the limelight that they should. So you got like Sanity, the War Raiders, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Finn Balor to an extent, you know, Kevin Owens. He gets a minor beatdown, but not really as bad as these other guys, and they run away. It's like you see these main roster stars like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. The big names that have always been in the main roster, never went to NXT, never had been held back, getting just absolutely crushed. Everybody. And then it comes to be during SummerSlam that the entire roster is now on high alert. They're looking for who's going to get attacked next. How can we defend against it? These things won't be tolerated. We need to stop it, kind of levels. And then it comes to be that the three that are in it, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, at the direction of AJ Styles, who successfully defends his WWE Championship, his WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam. And when it comes to pass that these three come out, that these four get together, they all give each other a too sweet, they all rip open their shirts to reveal a new club logo that's yellow and black. And they start calling out former NXT stars that haven't gotten their due, saying, you can join with us. We will give you what you deserve. Are you on the roster and you know your talents are worth more? Are you sick of being held back because SmackDown and Raw guys that have been here for 5 years never give you a chance, never give you that limelight, give you that opportunity to showcase who you are, why you got here? Join with us. And that's how you get like Undisputed Era, that realize that this is a great idea, that these guys have the mentality, have the footing, and have the insane plan that's working to go as far as they want to go. That there is no stopping the NXT club. So we fast forward through weeks after SummerSlam to Survivor Series. Matches have been had, guys that were on NXT Club versus guys that have wronged them. Championships have been put on the line against NXT Club members, and none of them have actually been able to win all that much in the big matches. Like, they'll get disqualified, they'll give up, and they'll say, "Listen, we don't care. Yeah, we have a few championships on our shoulders, on the shoulders of guys that we're associated with. That's their accomplishment. They deserve that. They earned it. We helped AJ get there because AJ has been held back. AJ has been pushed down. AJ was with us overseas in New Japan. We know who he is. That's why he gets to be our champion. And at Survivor Series, it comes down to Kofi Kingston, who is a lifetime WWE man, versus this iteration of AJ Styles. The tag team championships are held by the War Raiders, and their counterpart on SmackDown has got to be a tag team of, say, Andrade and Aleister Black and Ricochet. While they weren't a great gimmick together in this iteration, where the entire club is NXT alumni who deserved it, who should have gotten chances and got wasted, there's very little else that I could see they're working for a tag team in that respect, because the War Raiders on Raw are just great guys. And then you can have a repeat of, you need to get off my desk, cat. You can have a repeat of NXT TakeOver Phoenix and the amazing tag match that those four had. Just put it together, let it go. Samoa Joe is one of the few WWE NXT guys who doesn't really want to join with the club. And he faces Finn Balor, who's been Intercontinental Champion the entire time. He's defended his title cleanly. Every iteration, every chance, every pay-per-view, he's stepped up to the mark, and he's helped other NXT guys get their time to shine. Because he won't face a WWE roster guy. Like Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, they turn him down. And Baron Corbin can't get the job done. John Cena steps in. He loses to Finn. So, where does this all lead? The opportunities from there to tell a story like the NWO invasion angle are limitless. And to bring a version of the Bullet Club over to WWE without calling it the Bullet Club, but have them wreak havoc as was originally envisioned by certain other WWE YouTube pundits, would be beautiful. Now, this also counteracts a bit of the unknown quality, where certain NXT superstars never got their chance, like No Way Jose. He can be a part of this club and just showcase a ruthless side of himself. And during the draft, it's not who's going to be on Raw, it's not just who's going to be on Raw, who's going to be on SmackDown. It's also who's going to NXT. So that way you have the ability to shift guys that maybe aren't working so well on the main roster to back down to NXT, where they can continue to build their character, continue to build their brand, and continue to build intrigue. Now, what's this going to do for the ratings? It's going to quadruple it. Why? Because guys that are on NXT, guys that are on SmackDown, guys that are on Raw, all get their time, and it can shine a yet further spotlight on NXT. So if you want to know where these guys came from, you're going to have to start watching NXT. And by extension, people that are on SmackDown and Raw can still transition over if they want to. But the wild card rule is dissolved because the brand split is essentially resolved. Raw and SmackDown have their own rosters. Raw and SmackDown share a unified roster, which appeases Fox and USA and keeps everybody from having to worry about the brand split because it's stupid. Nobody's counting the number of superstars that have come in for the brand split. They're only counting on the number of matches. So I think that pretty well effectively fixes the WWE's woes as far as roster and how to book them. But let me know what you think. Throw a comment down in the section down below. Hit a like, maybe subscribe and share. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow this guy, the monster among marks, on Twitter at RobsRandomRoms. And I will see you all next time. Later.